Okay, this is a re-review of the TriSquare TSX300 portable radio. I did a test on this radio a couple of months ago and had some problems with the radios, and it turns out that they were defective. And now that we have them replaced and they seem to be working, I am going to compare it to a Motorola MR350, which is a 460 megahertz radio, which are very popular. One thing to keep in mind, the Motorola outputs at 2 watts and the TriSquare outputs at 1 watt. The TriSquare is a spread spectrum radio and the other one is just a conventional. I will be testing it at quarter mile, 3/10 of a mile, 4/10 of a mile, and 5/10. Well, we're going to go out to 1/2 mile as our test. So let's get to it.
Okay, now that I'm heading to the quarter mile mark, a little bit about the TriSquare radio. One of the advantages is the batteries can be charged outside the radio, whereas the Motorola talk about you can't do that. That's one of the advantages. The other advantage to the TriSquare is its privacy. It's difficult to monitor with conventional equipment, but it does transmit an analog, so it's not totally secure. The TriSquare TSX300 has more channels, whereas the conventional GMRS radio has 22 frequencies. The TriSquare has up to 10 billion. Okay, another advantage of the TriSquare radio is it does do text messaging, and it does seem to have better performance in dense RF areas. Now the area we're testing in is basically it's a residential area, common with structures, and we are going line of sight, except that there are some structures in the way. So at the quarter mile mark, there will be 21 structures between this radio and the base unit. And once we get to the quarter mile mark, I will be testing both radios, both the Motorola and the TriSquare, and we'll test them at basically the same time, or at the same place, so you'll be able to hear the difference between the two radios. Okay, this is the TriSquare TSX300 radio at the quarter mile mark. Now I will compare that with a Motorola MR350. This is a Motorola MR350 radio at 1/4 mile. This is in direct comparison to the TriSquare TSX300. Now I'll go to 3/10 of a mile. Okay, this is the Motorola TriSquare radio at 3/10 of 1 mile. This is the Motorola MR350 testing at 3/10 of 1 mile. Okay, this is the TriSquare TSX300 at 4/10 of 1 mile. This is the Motorola MR350 at 4/10 of 1 mile. And at 4/10 of 5 TriSquare seems to have problems with this. As I am mobile and walking, there seems to be a lot more choppiness in the signal. I guess that is because the frequency is higher and it's just bouncing off of fault structures. Alright, this is the TriSquare TSX300 back at the quarter-mile range. Basically, it's line of sight, but between this radio and the base, at the quarter-mile mark, there were 21 structures, and at 3/10 of 1 mile, there were 27 structures. At 4/10 of 1 mile, there were 39 structures. And at the 1/2 mile range, there were 47 structures between this radio and the base. One thing to keep in mind with the TriSquare radios is, in its class, there's really nothing that compares to it. The next closest radio is the Motorola digital. Can't remember what it is. I think it's 650. But those radios are $500 to $700 a piece, and they are fully digital. But price comparison between the two radios, TriSquare is definitely a better value. Now, I don't have a set of Motorola's, the digital Motorola's, to compare to see if they actually perform better. But to my understanding, the frequencies are the same and the wattage is the same. I think they're both 1 watt.
Alright, this concludes the field test of the TriSquare TSX300 and the Motorola MR350 radio. Clearly, each radio has their advantages and disadvantages. And as you make your decision, you need to decide, what features you want versus what you want to trade off. I think both radios are valuable, but just depending on the environment that you're in as to which one is better. Lastly, weather conditions was sunny, temperature was 73 degrees, relative humidity was 45%. So it's a good clear day for those that want to study the radio propagation stuff. So take care, have a good one.